Hey everyone. Okay, so let's talk about the election observers. Okay, we know that the election observers are very important, and I'm going to talk about maybe one or two. Okay, so the one that I want to talk about right now is the election observers for Commonwealth. Okay, we know that the government has been trying to rejoin the Commonwealth, but there have been some conditions that were set by the Commonwealth, for the government of Zimbabwe to follow before they can be readmitted into the Commonwealth group. We know Mugabe gave up on the Commonwealth years back after those disputed, happenings of the 2000s. All right. Now we know that the Commonwealth is saying, well, there need to be some reforms. The elections have to be free and fair, for everything to be considered. Okay. Now, election observers are preparing, to come into the country. Others are already there, different agencies, and we know the international community is eyeing Zimbabwe. In the past elections, both the pre and post elections, they were marred by controversy. That was, there was no freedom and fairness. Okay, so like in 2018, President Mnangagwa invited the Commonwealth to observe the elections, and a 23 member led by by the former president of Ghana, that is John Mahama, okay, came to Harare to observe the elections. And in their final report, they noted that, well, Zimbabwe had some several aspects, some positive, aspects, including an improved pre-election environment, but they said we cannot endorse those elections as free and fair, because they expressed some concerns over some other political shortcomings, which they termed as unleveled playing fields. They also noted bias of state media. I think we already know that. That has been an issue for quite a long time. The bias of state media in favor of the ruling party. They also gave allegations of intimidation, post-election violence. As we know what happened in 2018, that after the elections, there were some, happenings there, and there were some casualties, some fatalities. People lost their lives. Okay. So for the 2018, elections, the Commonwealth concluded that it was unable to endorse all aspects of the election process, as free and fair. They said they couldn't endorse those elections as free and fair, because there were some issues that needed to be addressed, like those things that I've already mentioned. So let's see what is going to happen for 2023, They are going to be there again. We know that the government has been trying very much, engagement and re-engagement. So they really wanted to join the Commonwealth. We have seen officials from the Commonwealth visiting Zimbabwe several times, to come and assess the situation, to see what's going on. Is the environment, conducive for free and fair elections? What is happening? Are the reforms that were put also including those of the sanctions, whether they've been met, and a lot of, those other aspects of there. Another observer group is the EU, which is a very, big one internationally. The EU as well also, they are saying, well, they came in 2018 and they said, well, there were some improvements, but still there's some things that needs to be addressed, So the EU election observer, they call it the EOM, something like that, yeah, EOM, okay? They have been already invited. I came across an article where they say, well, they've been already invited to the government to come and observe the elections. Okay, again, they're saying the same issue as the Commonwealth, that, well, there are some issues that need to be addressed from the 2018 elections. This is what they put in their report. They said from the 2018 elections, there were 23 recommendations, but 10 of them being very, very important, which include strengthening the independence of ZEC and increasing information sharing. They also talk about the voter registration and voters' roll for it to be transparency, verifiable, and integrity of results management. They also spoke of, the state media to reform to guarantee independence and impartiality. Okay. So the EU raised those issues of, state media to allow for all political parties, to be heard by the people, okay, to do those reasons. And also, they remember there was a PVO bill that was passed by Parliament and was awaiting the president's signature, okay. And the EU were like saying, well, if that bill is endorsed or is signed into law, it's going to affect a lot of things. Or like, well, it's going to suppress people from freedom of expression. It's going to stop the private voluntary organizations from doing their work. And we know what the government is saying about such kind of organizations. Okay,